So there were almost 250 condos which were sold this year under the price point of $500,000 in downtown Toronto. But here's the catch. Not all condos were sold in the best neighborhoods. So in today's video, I'm going to highlight best neighborhoods in downtown Toronto where you can find a condo under the price point of $500,000 in today's time. So if you get any value out of this content, then please hit that like button and also please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps a small channel like this to grow. If you got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with me as per your convenient time by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. Okay, so here on the screen, you can see I've put a filter for CO1 and CO8. That's basically downtown Toronto. That is going to be this area. I'll quickly zoom in over here. So that's basically south of Bloor Street to west of DVP to east of Dufferin to just south to the water. So this is basically downtown core, which is CO1 and CO8. And here I've put a filter which is the condos which were sold between the price point of 125 and 515. 125 reason being is just to get rid of the parking and lockers. So those are not included in this data. And the upper limit I have put is just above $500,000, that is 515. And you can see there are 248 condos which were sold this year, that is starting January 1st up till now. And so now let's check out the best neighborhood and condos in the city. So first I'm going to talk about is Distillery District, which is located on the east side of the city, which is right over here. Sorry, I zoomed in a little bit much. So this Distillery District is on the east end of just off east of Parliament and between Cherry Street. Solid neighborhood in my opinion. You've got a Distillery District. It's got a very cool architecture vibe to it. A lot of brick walls and cool architecture vibe, as I mentioned. You have access to DVP over here from the Eastern Avenue, and as well as you have access to the Gardner Highway, which comes in handy. In terms of transit, they do have a streetcar. There's a streetcar loop over here, streetcar stop loop, that's what I meant. And so if you want to go from Distillery District to the core, to the financial district, to the core of downtown, it's going to take you about like 20 minutes commute, give or take. And but down the line, they do have some future growth coming up. That is, they're going to set up a Ontario Line subway station, which is going to be right at Berkeley and Front Street, which is just beside the Starbucks, just east side of the Starbucks. You can see this is where the subway station is going to be set up, but that's way down the line. This is a very safe neighborhood. You can find a lot of young working professionals living over here. So definitely I would vouch for this neighborhood. So let me show you listing what you can find something here over here. So this year there was one condo which was sold in a solid building. That is 80 Mill Street, which is unit 1010, sold for $467,000. So 80 Mill Street, in my opinion, is one of the underrated buildings. In my opinion, it's a solid building where all the utilities are included in the maintenance fees, and at the same time maintenance fees are pretty reasonable. So if you see a condo like this, the square footage is 500 to 599, all utilities included, the maintenance fee is 474. And if I show you just a few pictures, you'll get an idea. It is a good, the units have good layout in this building and maintain well. So this property was sold for $467,000 this year. So this is something you can find in Distillery District. This is an old building. I agree with that, but overall it's a solid building in my opinion. Now let's go to the next neighborhood where we can see what's sold this year under $500,000. So let's check that out. But before we proceed to the next listing, I just want to show you one more listing just for your quick reference, which is currently available on market, which is at 70 Mill Street, unit 804. This is a sister building to 80 Mill Street in Distillery District, same neighborhood, listed for $495,000. It's slightly bigger. It's 600 to 699 square footage. That's the range. Maintenance fee is 610 and it's inclusive of all the utilities, that is heat, hydro, water. And if I show you I just want to run the numbers with you real quick. Let's say hypothetically you get this property for $485,000 and you're someone putting down 20% down, and the length of the mortgage is 25 years. That's the amortization period, and the interest rate in today's time we are getting close to 4s. And so your monthly carrying cost inclusive of everything, that is principal, interest, maintenance fees, and property taxes, is going to be 2831. I agree, it is still expensive to own a condo or a property as opposed to renting it, but it's also very subjective how much down payment you put down. All those factors come into play. But yes, if you put down 20% down, it is going to be expensive than renting it. But at the same time, if you're owning it, then you're also building some equity. So those factors also come into play. So does it make sense to rent or to buy? That's a whole different topic. We'll address that or debate that some other day. So I'm going to go to the next neighborhood. That is, we're going to go to Liberty Village. That is on the west end of the city, which is located right over here. It's between it's just on west of Strawn to east of Dufferin Street, which is right over here. Again, this is a solid neighborhood. The only downside I see in this neighborhood is that it gets really the traffic is very slow, or there are a lot of traffic jams in a nutshell on this street, that is on East Liberty Street, and that's the only entry point or exit point to get into this neighborhood. That's the feedback I've got from my clients who live in this building. But other than that, it's a solid neighborhood. You've got great restaurants, bars, groceries at your doorstep, and it's a very young and vibrant neighborhood, I would say. So the good building I'm going to showcase in this vicinity or in this neighborhood, which sold this year under the price point of $500,000, is 69 Little William Street, Unit 1219. This building was built in 2013, and it was sold for $450,000 this year, and the maintenance fee is $364. And I'll admit this is a junior bedroom because this is just shy of 500 square feet, maybe about 450 square feet, give or take. And if I show you pictures, it is going to be small, and but it's sold for 450 price point. That's what we are getting in downtown Toronto, and that's the living area. And if I show you the bedroom, let me just quickly jump onto that picture. So this is the bedroom. It is a junior bedroom, I must say that. And if I show you the patios looking out west, you'll have a lot of sunlight exposure, direct sunlight exposure from this unit, which is not bad in my opinion. And now let's hop onto the next, or let's jump onto the next good neighborhood where you can find a condo under the price point of $500,000. All right, so the next good neighborhood where you can find something under $500,000 is we're going towards the St. Lawrence Market. It's again on the east side of the city, so let's check out that. So here on the map, on Google Maps, you can see St. Lawrence Market. They're showing from south of Queen, but in my opinion, I would count St. Lawrence Market to be south of King Street. So I would say east of Yonge to south of King to west of, I would say, Lower Sherbourne. So the building I'm going to talk about is going to be at 158 Front Street East. It is located right over here. Let me show you on the map. That is going to be at Front and Lower Sherbourne. That's the intersection, and the unit I'm going to talk about is going to be, let me just scroll this up. Yeah, so it is 2114. This building was built, it's about 3 to 4 years old. It's a fairly new building built by a citizen group, solid developer, and the units in this building have a pretty good layout. This building is managed well. I've helped few clients buy this in this condo, and they have pretty good things to say. They're happy in there. And this unit was sold for $475,000 earlier this year in February of this year. Square footage is 500 to 599. Maintenance fee is reasonable. It's $359. If I show you a few pictures, so that's the unit. It's not a massive unit, but for the price point and considering the layout, you won't feel cramped in it. That's what I wanted to point out. And yeah, decent layout. And in the pictures, you'll feel that this building next door is right in front of the unit. But I've been in a similar units like this because there's a pool downstairs right over there. You don't feel that the building is right in front of your face, or you don't feel claustrophobic. You still do get decent views. I'll show you a few pictures looking out southwest from this unit. So let's check that out. So that's what I was talking about. And a good building and a decent unit at a decent price point. All right, so now let's jump to the other good neighborhood where you can find something at a reasonable price point. Is we are going to go to City Place. City Place is basically west of Rogers Center to east of Bathurst to south of Front Street to north of, I would say, Lakeshore Boulevard. This neighborhood a lot of people have their opinions on this neighborhood again, but I think over the years it has matured enough, and the neighborhood is becoming better. And the good building I'm going to talk about is in City Place is going to be 174 York Boulevard. This unit was sold for $505,000 earlier this year in January of 2025. And this building is, again, I don't remember on top of my head, but it's about like 10 years old, give or take. The maintenance fee you're looking at is $479, and the square footage of this unit is 503. And if I show you a few pictures, that's the unit. You're looking out north, and it's a junior one bedroom, I would say, but again, it is livable too at the same time. And here we go. That's the bedroom. And here you're looking out north from this building. This patch, they might construct a building down the line. I'll have to double check, but I would double check that before getting into this building with the north exposure. I just wanted to point that out. All right, so let's jump on to the next neighborhood, which is a good, safe neighborhood and where you can find something under $500,000. So let's check that out. And before we proceed, I just got a quick favor. If you're still watching this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel, so I would really appreciate that. So let's go ahead with the video, and here we go. So we're going to go towards the entertainment district. So if you're someone who's a young working professional and you're okay with the busyness of the city, with the hustle bustle, and you want to walk to everywhere from your condo, this is the place to be. It is busy, I'll be honest with you. So that's why I said, if you're someone young working professional, or if you're someone who's an investor and you want to rent out a condo and you don't want to worry about the renting out or finding a good tenant, this is the place to be, because here you will not have any problem in renting out a condo. So this is entertainment district, is basically south of Queen Street to east of Spadina to west of University. And the building we're going to talk about is going to be 126 Simcoe. Before proceeding, I just want to let you know they've got lots going on in this little pocket. You've got tons of bars, you've got great restaurants, you're just by the financial district. The financial district is just east of University, which is right over here, and basically it's a very busy area. Okay, so now we're going to go to the building, or the building I'm going to highlight is 126 Simcoe Street, unit 2809. This was sold for $505,000 in March of this year, and the views looking out south from this building are solid, but down the line most likely there's going to be a building coming up, so that's tricky over there. And if I show you the unit, the unit has a decent layout. uh it is more of a proper box, but only one thing, they have a HVAC system over here. So if you have a big TV, that's not gonna fit in over here, so you'll have to set up a small TV over here. That's the only downside I think I see in this floor plan. And overall good layout. You need to put in some love to make it more nicer, but other than that, unit is okay. And sold for 505. Maintenance fees 458, includes heat and water, and the square footage is about like low 500s in my opinion, looking at the pictures. So yeah, that's about you can get in the city. So especially for a first time home buyer, there are a lot of good starter condos available right now in the market. And if you have any questions about those, feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to assist you in a most transparent and honest way. And let me know if any questions. I would be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.